We won the Lord. We are Man United and we never gonna stop. Ole ole, ole ola, ole ole. I bet you enjoyed that. You know what? I am pretty sure you are either on your second watch of the full game or you've watched the highlights about 10 times already, because I don't know how to describe that performance but to say that was a Manchester United performance. That was an absolute Manchester United performance against Manchester City, where we could have beat them 5-0. In fact, we put the ball at the back of the net 5 times. We were only able to get 2 out of it. But for some mistimed runs, but for some VAR check, but for some woodwork, it could have been a shellacking for Manchester City. It's been quite some time that I've ever seen United play this dominant against a Pep Guardiola side at Old Trafford, where we've been able to come out victorious. What a game we witnessed, what a game we watched, what a game. I'm sure you are still smiling. I'm sure you are so excited. I don't know how you are feeling right now, but I've been absolutely buzzing. And Kwame, I know, just look at Kwame's face. Just look at him. The smile can't just leave him. For those who don't know, should I tell him the time we are recording?
Oh, you can. What is 5:35 a.m. here?
It is 4:35 a.m. Sunday morning. Yeah. We've not slept.
I've been awake for 21 hours 35 minutes. And there are reasons for that. I've been doing a trip across Germany. I left Hamburg for Berlin this morning.
Yeah.
And then I returned to Hamburg right now at dawn.
Yeah.
So that this recording can happen. It's crazy what I'm doing.
Remember, this episode is brought to you by Tech Transitions Hub, the fastest and most practical way.
Yesterday morning, right?
Yesterday.
And then I'm back to Hamburg this morning.
Crazy. So it's the fastest way for people in the US and Canada to break into the IT industry even with zero technical knowledge. So in just 3 months, you learn real-world job-ready skills in IT support, Microsoft 365 security, Azure, and many more. The exact tools companies use every single day. Our programs are hands-on, beginner-friendly, and designed to help you confidently step into your new career. So if you've been thinking about starting an IT career in tech, this is your moment. Reach out by email at techtransitionshub@gmail.com or send a WhatsApp message to +1 781 535 1396 or visit techtransitionshub.net for more details. Tech Transitions Hub, build skills, build confidence, and build your future. Let's make a quick turnaround. I want you to watch this video of Bruno Miguel Fernandes, the orchestra general, in action during this. When we come back, we are going to go deep into the game. We have a lot to talk about here on United and everything for. So let's make a quick turn. But remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell if this is the first time. You are so excited and you've not subscribed. You are not helping the channel. Please just do it for us. We beg you. Hit the subscribe channel, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Please leave a comment for us. Describe to us how you felt. Just your feeling. How did you feel watching that? Just describe everything to us here on United and everything football. Let's make a quick turnaround. When we come back, I'll get to Kwame and I'll give my thoughts on the game here on United and everything football. We'll be right back after this.
Say United, getting boys, call Ruben Amorim and sack him again.
I'm so overjoyed. What a performance. That was vintage Manchester United. I mean, it was all easy. This is all what we wanted from Amorim. Just platform players better. This man gaslighted us to thinking Bruno and Menu could not start together on a pitch. Yet here they are balling out their lives, being on the same pitch together for 90 minutes. Come on, it wasn't this hard. Just platform players better, play them in their natural positions. I'm so happy for this win. Kudos to Carrick, his tactics were spot on. And I hope we can kick on, get a result at the Emirates, and then let's fight for top 4. Come on, you Reds!
Glory, Man United. It's been a busy day, a fun day, a packed day. It's just been a delightful win. I think this brilliant coaching from the start of the game. It was exciting. It was fun. Michael Carrick put every player in the right position that they needed to be in. The subs were good. We played well. This was like a 7-0 win because apart from the 3 offside goals that were ruled off for offside, the goals that were ruled off offside, we also had the 2 goals hit the bar and the post, right? And for us to dominate that, the whole Manchester City went a whole half without a shot on target and just 1 shot on target throughout the whole game. It's massive. It's massive, and it just shows that when we have the belief, when we focus on one thing, when we are united, when we have the right tactics, the right coaching in place, we can do it. And I think we never had a new manager bounce from the previous manager. We played people out of possession. Actually, it's not even relevant to talk about that, but I'm just delighted. And I think right now what we are hoping for is that we go against Arsenal and do the same and just keep on repeating. When we do this, we can, after Arsenal, Fulham, Tottenham, all of that, we can win and make sure we get to top 4. I think that should be our goal, that we put everything outside and give it our all. I'm just excited.
Glory, Man United. This is the club we know. This is the kind of football we watched growing up that made us fall in love with this club. Michael Carrick, excellent coaching from you. Solid defensive structure, 3-man midfield with Casemiro and Menu playing alongside each other, with Bruno in his most effective position as a number 10. Fast, pacey, direct football from our wingers. Wingers playing as wingers, not as number 10s. Excellent overall performance. We actually limited City to 1 shot on target. We actually limited Pep Guardiola's team to 1 shot on target, to the point that he took his most lethal striker off the pitch. We created so many chances. If not for VAR, we probably would have scored 4, 5, 6 goals. Overall, excellent performance. And mind you, Michael Carrick did this with barely 1 week with the team. Yet he whose name must not be mentioned would have told us that we needed a weeks to be able to implement his tactics or imbibe his principles into the team. Said that same team, mind you, same team, no addition, nothing, would tell us that we needed to overhaul these players, just come and completely misprofile players and do whatever it is you like, and you left. It's not anything. We'll leave it at that. It's in the past. We'll not talk too much about it. My only regret is that as a big club, we should never again repeat this mistake, where we accept such mediocrity. We took far too long to sack him. But it's not anything. Let's leave it behind us. Welcome, Michael Carrick. Overall, great performance. We like the fight. We like the determination. We like the grit. We like the attacking football. Look, everything that we have known Manchester United to be, that is what we saw this afternoon. And I think it was a fantastic game. Fantastic performance. I only pray that we can build up from this and then eventually make Champions League football. Up next, Emirates. Glory, Man United. Let's do this. Let's go for this. I know we can do it.
All right, thank you very much. Welcome back to United and Everything Football Podcasts. Kwame, I mean, you just watched that video of Bruno Fernandes orchestrating, doing what we know Bruno does best. I mean, how did you feel before we get into the analysis proper? How did you feel watching that?
Also, as you know, the viewers wouldn't know, but as you know, I've had the privilege of watching a replay. I wasn't able to watch the game live because of events that were taking place in Berlin. From Hamburg to Berlin, it's a long story. Kwame knows it's a long story. How I ended up with that road trip, only God knows. But I've had the privilege of watching the replay en route to my abode, and I enjoyed the game, I analyzed the game, and I have quite a bit to say. But first and foremost on Bruno. When Bruno Fernandes was, for years, we compared Bruno Fernandes to Kevin De Bruyne as to who is actually the best offensive midfielder in the Premier League. With Kevin De Bruyne's absence or exit from the Premier League, it should have been an undisputed case for Bruno Fernandes as the best offensive midfielder in the Premier League. But due to certain circumstances or events, he has not thrived as the offensive asset that we know him to be. I think prior to the last couple of games, he had 8 assists and only 2 of them were from open play. The rest were from set pieces. And the last 2 Premier League games, I think he's had 2 assists, back-to-back assists, right, from open play. Effectively doubling his assist from open play in just a couple of games. I guess we all know why this has been the case and why a lot of us have been making the case for him playing in offensive positions rather than a central midfield role, which we know he hasn't been the best for us at Manchester United. He's been the best for us at Manchester United as an offensive midfielder. You cannot stifle all that attacking threats in the name of whatever. So it's for me, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. None of us should be surprised. In fact, we've craved for this for so long. For so long.
Yes.
And finally, I think he's playing where he is supposed to play best. And delivering, of course.
And delivering. I mean, you watched that. There was this pass that he sent to Patrick Dorgu. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know the technique. Yes, the technique he used to span the ball for the ball to. Golf? I mean, get to
golf.
No, I don't play golf.
Yeah, he teed that up incredibly well. Like you can't pull that off if you're not special. You can't. No way you pull that off. I kept asking myself, there were easier options. I mean, just slip the ball through the players on the right for them to make a run into the channel and all of that. But Bruno's vision was able to pick 2 players, and on that ball, you felt that what's his name again? Bryan Mbeumo Bryan Mbeumo could have gotten to it first and hit a very sweet volley to get the ball at the back of the net. But Patrick Dorgu was able to. I mean, that level of intelligence. But Kwame, we'll get to that. Let's talk about the game. So the game, Michael Carrick's first game back in charge as Manchester United boss. I say back in charge because this is actually his 4th game managing Manchester United as the boss. He's beaten Thomas Tuchel when he faced. He drew with Thomas Tuchel.
No, he drew Thomas Tuchel. Yes.
When Chelsea were on top of the league, right? He drew with him 1-1.
Yes.
He beat Mikel Arteta. 3-2 at Old Trafford, and he also beat Unai
Emery's Villarreal.
The first time I beat him Villarreal in Spain. And in all 3 games, he deployed different formations. 4-2-3-1 against Arsenal, 4-4-1-1 against Villarreal, and 4-3-1-2 against Chelsea, right?
Yes.
And in his 4th game, he deployed a 4th different formation. 4-4-2. 4-4-2, and I know exactly where he borrowed this 4-4-2 from because of how limited the time he had to train this football team. He had to refer to something that has worked very recently. Over 14 months ago, we had a certain manager in charge known as Erik ten Hag, whom before he was fired had faced City twice prior. On the first of the last of one of the few games that he managed for Manchester United was the FA Cup final, where he played a 4-4-2 at Wembley against Manchester City. And in the Community Shield, he repeated that 4-4-2, albeit with different personnel. And the outcome of those games were, we should have won both games. That's what I'm going to say. We should have won both games. We won the FA Cup final, the most important one, and we should have won the Community Shield as well. Deploying the same tactics against Pep Guardiola, and he hadn't figured it out. And if people cannot remember, in the FA Cup final, the 4-4-2 was McTominay and Bruno Fernandes as the two forwards, right? Yeah. And then flanked by Alejandro Garnacho on the right, Marcus Rashford on the left.
Marcus Rashford on the left.
Of the park, he had Kobe Mainoo and Amrabat. The back four was the last of Martinez and Varane that we saw.
And then Wan-Bissaka on the right.
Diogo Dalot.
Yeah.
And the tactic that day, if people can even go back to our videos that day, was to form a box midfield, right? We set up in a mid block, but then the main aim was to form a box midfield to stop Rodri from dictating the football game. Because in City's 4-1-4-1 formation, the orchestra of everything that happens is Rodri. And if you put Rodri in a spot of border, right, you change or sort of alter the way that Pep Guardiola wants to play. First of all, what you are doing is setting up in a mid block is you are inviting them into the middle of the park, meaning that there will be space between the back four and the goalkeeper. A large space that Manchester United can counter or transition into. And then when you have Rodri also in the box, trapped inside the middle of the box, where he cannot dictate the play, what happens is that all the play that City wants to deploy would have to be funneled into wide spaces, right? I.e., centre backs and full backs have to find wingers, and then Manchester United then doubles up on these wingers with the wingers that we have as well as our full backs. So it's almost always a 2v1 situation out wide. It's difficult to funnel the ball into the middle of the park because we're also crowded in the middle of the park. It worked a treat in the FA Cup final. He repeated it in the Community Shield, where he had Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes as the forwards, and in the middle of the park he had Casemiro and Mainoo, and then wingers that day were, if I can remember, it was Rashford on the left and Amad Diallo on the right. The back four was kind of iffy because you remember Martinez played at left back, Johnny Evans played in the middle with I think Maguire, and then our right back was Diogo Dalot. But then the setup, the plan, everything was the same, and it worked exactly the same way. We should have won that game. I don't know how we gave away a last minute goal for you to go to penalty shootout, and we're not doing all the bullshit. Fast forward to today. Same setup, similar setup. I mean, he started with Bruno Fernandes and Mbeumo up front. Behind them was Kobe Mainoo and Casemiro, flanked by Amad Diallo and
Patrick Dorgu.
Patrick Dorgu playing as a very conventional left-sided winger, right? And then a back four of Luke Shaw, Martinez and Maguire, who were stupendous, and then Diogo Dalot, who was lucky not to have been sent off. But the reason why I'm taking you all the way back is there are players who played in the two previous games that I've mentioned, who are very familiar with that particular setup that we deployed today, who actually played today. If you look at the names that I've mentioned, Amad Diallo played one of those two games. Bruno Fernandes played. Right? You had Kobe Mainoo and Casemiro who also played. You've had Maguire, you've had Martinez who've also played in that system. You've had Diogo Dalot who's also played in that system. I'm talking about only 2 or 3 players who did not play any of those 2 games. That is Mbeumo, right? Who else? Patrick Dorgu and Luke Shaw, who was injured all throughout that period. That's the only reason why he never played any of those 2 games, and that should have featured.
But just not to catch you, we want to project something. The 4-4-2 that Kwame is saying. If YouTube doesn't, worry us, you might see it. But if YouTube worries us,
frozen
I'm pretty
images,
sure you may not see it. Yes, frozen. Yes,
exactly. And the tactics were the same as I have explained to you, because what we witnessed today was us stifling Rodri as much as possible, forcing him into errors or forcing him into simple passes, because whenever he had the ball, he was the trigger for our press, always the trigger for our press. And our press was quite relentless, especially in the opening minutes. I don't know how Harry Maguire didn't score from our first opportunity in the corner. I have no idea. I don't know.
Just perhaps probably guiding the head a little bit down would have just got the ball at the back of the net,
I felt like it was going to be like biting all over again, but I was like, come on, when you don't score the first goal, then all of a sudden they go the other way. No, but that's not what happened. Our plan kept on working. The City had near mistakes that could easily have resulted in even better chances, but then we started creating chances of our own. Whenever there was a turnover from the tactics that we had deployed defensively, the precision, incision, and confidence with which we moved the ball quickly into offensive areas was very, very palatable to watch. You see, sometimes it's about being courageous, Show that courage on the ball. Menu gets the ball in transition, he drops his shoulder, knows what to do. Casemiro gets the ball, it's a quick pass. Bruno Fernandes, as for Bruno Fernandes, is in automatic quick passing mode. You get what I'm saying? But there are players like Patrick Dorgu, right? Amad Diallo, who were taking on players and making very, very good decisions. That was so good to watch. Mbeumo, he wasn't playing as a traditional striker, but when he had the ball, he knew when to play the ball quickly out wide. Fullbacks knew the trigger to fly. You had Luke Shaw and Diallo, despite the fact that both picked up very early yellow cards, right? But one of them very cynical from Diallo. Offensively and defensively, they did their job so well, right? Centre backs, when they got the ball, when we intercepted and the centre backs got the ball, they drove with the ball. They were not just giving passive passes. You could see Harry Maguire just drive one or two. You see Martinez do the same thing. When there's the need to play a big ball over the top, and one of those big balls resulted later in the halfway chance to Bruno Fernandes.
Not to cut you. You know, this was the first time. I would say the first time. This was one time that I really enjoy rondos that we see in training.
The triangles. The triangles.
The triangles.
Yeah, the triangles. Like,
the rondos they were doing. I mean, it was just so sharp. It was so sharp. It was very nice to watch.
The chance that you described with that crossfield ball from Bruno Fernandes and Patrick Dorgu should have scored. Donnarumma was on smoke.
Exactly.
Donnarumma was on smoke. Yeah. And then we had a couple of disallowed goals in the first half. Amad Diallo and Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes may have just scored the best disallowed goal in football history. I swear. When that ball went over the top, and Bruno Fernandes, in my opinion, I thought he had beaten the offside trap at that particular moment in time, rounded Donnarumma and then took the pause for one defender to slide all the way to the Etihad, right? And then another defender was approaching the goalpost and he calmly slid the ball in. And I thought, this is going to be one of the best, coldest goals ever. And then it was disallowed. So then it turns out to be the coldest disallowed goal in football history. And I was just saying to myself that it's almost like as if we are destined to throw this away because we've created all the chances we should have scored.
Yes.
See, there are different ways to dominate a football game. You can dominate a football game even without the ball. But then you see us actually creating all the chances, making all the meaningful runs. We stifled City in every way, shape, and form. The only chance that City created in that first half was through a mistake of ours, where Lamens, I don't know how you consider that corner. But then he made amends from that very same corner kick by saving the attempt.
By keeping it out.
So,
yes.
Come the end of the first half, you're like, all these chances, we should be 3-0, probably 4-0 up. But some way, somehow, it's 0-0. Is it going to be this whole story all over again where United blew? But then we came out in the second half and we did not sway. We did not start the second half badly as we often start second halves this season. We just went about our business, carry on from where we left off. And Amad Diallo, there was this ball where a ball is played to Amad Diallo, he cuts in, takes a shot, rebound, spills, and it goes to
Casemiro.
And you're thinking, Casemiro, you just need to scoop the ball over the goalkeeper.
Smash the ball or something.
And then somehow the Romans. And then shortly after that, Bruno Fernandes plays another lovely cross into the box and Mbeumo volleys it. Perfect volley.
Donnarumma again.
Textbook volley. You hit the ball downwards so that it's difficult for the goalkeeper. And somehow this goalkeeper saves. I'm like, what the heck is happening here?
If you see what I wrote for Donnarumma in one of our lists, I'm sure it's not.
Oh, and for those
you posted.
You've not seen it. For those who follow Twitter, I wasn't watching the game, but I was following from our Telegram group every single moment and then just retweeting and keeping things moving. I've been multitasking the whole day. I've retweeted it. You have to go through our Twitter. You see that the nonsense you said is there. It's on Twitter for the whole world to see. Vulgar language. But I understand. The normal has been a demon. But then shortly after that, we considered a free kick near our box, right? And City played the ball into our box, and Harry Maguire clears the ball, and then.
But you've missed a step in that sequence. It was Haaland trying to drive with the ball after a transition for City, and Maguire brings him down, fouled him. I think he even actually clutched. Yes, he had to clutch his leg because his knee. And had to quickly fight back to go win the header, then continue from there. Don't miss the sequence. Describe the sequence very well.
Thank you very much. So Maguire clears this free kick from the City box. And that's where you witness what Manchester United has always been. And I'll describe something unique about this club. Based on the goal that we witnessed, what the Manchester United way is, what Manchester United's DNA is. I think fans have either forgotten or cannot remember or simply are too young to know what Manchester United used to be 13 years ago. I have to factor that because I realize you have a lot of young fans who may not have seen us when we were in our pump. When Manchester United was at its pump, they may not have seen us. But that was a typical Manchester United goal. Mbeumo gets the ball, quickly flicks it around the corner, bypasses the defender, and then Bruno Fernandes latches onto it, and then you see the speed. You see, if you are a defender, right, and you see Manchester United players running at you like that, it's actually scary. And that's what used to be our normal back in the day. But then you see Mbeumo, Bruno Fernandes with the ball at his feet, you see Diallo, and then you see Patrick Dorgu, almost a 4-on-3. Just options right, left, and center. And Bruno Fernandes plays this clever ball. I think he uses his eyes, right, to sort of sell it. Because he was going one way, almost as if he's going Ahmad's direction, and then he reverses the ball into Mbeumo's direction, right? And Mbeumo also allows the ball to run across his body. No touch. Deliberately allows the ball to run across his body, and then smashes the ball where it's coming from.
Just right across.
Across. Giving Donnarumma no chance at all, and Manchester United takes the lead. A deserved lead after about 60 odd minutes, close to 70 minutes, I think. And I'm like, relief. Thoroughly deserved. At that point in time, there was nobody in this world who would not have said Manchester United did not deserve the lead. But then came the next challenge. What does a real Manchester United team do? Do they just go into their shell to try and see out this lead, or they try and consolidate the lead? It all goes back into the Manchester United way and the Manchester United DNA, which I'll describe thoroughly very, very soon. Manchester United then makes certain changes that we were not seeing a few weeks ago. Offensive changes. We had Cunha on our bench. We had Mason Mount on our bench. Anybody who tells you that we do not have a good squad, that person doesn't know what he's talking about. You do not just throw all your players into a starting 11, and when you don't have anything on the bench, you say to yourself, Manchester United doesn't have a good squad. It's about managing the squad, right? Having Arsenal to be able to bring on. And that's what we had on the bench in Cunha. It's okay for Cunha to be on the bench and come on, especially when his form has been up and down. It's okay to have a Mason Mount on the bench to come on. Next time, it may be somebody else. But then, these are quality enough players to come onto the football pitch to try and make an impact when you need it. He brings on Cunha, takes off Mbeumo, who had run his socks off, and brings on Cunha. And you could tell the hunger when Cunha came on. Right? Play down the number 9. Shesko did not see any action today, but I'm sure he'll see action very, very soon. The only person who may be the 4 guy here is Zexi. And then I've asked for Zexi before. Said several things you need to say about Zexi. But then, as soon as Cunha comes on, he's involved in the play. Right on the right wing, Diallo plays a lovely reverse ball to the striker who had made the darting run onto the wing. And he uses his drive on the wing, you know. The reason why, I'll get into this in a bit. Cunha uses this drive on the wing and then puts the ball across into the box. And then I think the City defender did not see Dorgu coming off his blind side. Dorgu sort of made this inside run instead of the outside run. So inside run, the defender had no clue where Dorgu was. And he pounces on this ball and it goes off the post and then right into the net and it's 2-0. We consolidate our lead. We don't just make defensive changes to try and see this game out. No, we do not do that. Manchester United goes on the front foot to try and put the game to bed. And Alex Ferguson is in the stands and Michael Carrick is on the touchline. It's almost like they're in sync. They are in awe. It's almost like it was a reminiscent moment for them as to what Manchester United should be over the past 13 years. Those cameras captured the most perfect images at that particular point in time. And when it's 2-0 and we are running down the clock basically because we are just drawing rings around City, still looking for more goals. Despite, you see, that's the way to run down the clock. You don't run down the clock like just trying to see out the game and packing the bus. Running down the clock in the sense that we are putting the pressure on you to get more goals, rather than you looking to even try and get back into the football game. Amad Diallo is played through on Bruno by Bruno in one of these forays where we intercept the ball in our defense and we can quickly play it forward. Luke Shaw almost killed somebody at the back there when he headed that ball. He was just brutal. I think Luke Shaw. Say what you like about Luke Shaw, but when the guy is fit and he's on it, he's a wicked person. I don't think he just killed the defense. He just killed somebody there, cleared the ball. Bruno Fernandes gets the ball and just lays it onto Amad Diallo to just take on the last defender, and then he beats him, but then he hits the post. Then he makes a couple of changes in other time. When he brings on Mason Mount, right? For
Aiden Heaven.
Who do you bring Mason Mount?
It's Mason Mount for Bruno Fernandes.
Yes. And then he brings on Aiden Heaven, right? So at that point in time, I think in the last few minutes he reverted to playing a back five with two in the middle, so Kobe Menu and Ugarte. What on Ugarte just minutes?
Ugarte for Casemiro.
Yeah. And then the front three of Mason Mount, Cunha, and then Patrick Dorgu, still having enough offensive players to be able to put them on the counter. And we did that. Amad gets the ball, plays a lovely through ball for Cunha, and then Cunha plays the ball across. You
forgot what he did. He chested the ball to give himself some space to be able to drive with the ball.
and then plays this ball across the face of goal, and then Mount tucks it in so beautifully. And we think we've annihilated City, we've destroyed City. 3-0 was even a fractional scoreline at the end of the day. And then somehow this thing is pulled back for our third VAR disallowed goal today. And when you look at the VAR decision, Kwame, I didn't my show. Where
is Rodri? Rodri was also in that same mistake.
How?
They didn't even capture him.
No, even forget about it though. The foot that they are showing, that they are telling me that it is offside. The foot is not offside though. I swear to God, that foot is not offside. See, is it semi-automated? Is it semi-automated?
Semi-automated, yes, semi-automated.
The computer made a mistake. There is no way that is offside. I've looked at it and looked at it, sir. It is not offside though. There is no offside. But who cares? Who cares? We see out the game, and Carrick is greater than Pep Guardiola at the end of the day. Hey, please, so people will listen to this battle, they'll just go and say, I'm just joking. It's light.
Yeah, just
joking. I mean, Carrick beats Pep Guardiola, teaches him a lesson. Pep Guardiola at the end of the day just raises his hand and says that, that's for today. I really got battered. I don't see top. But I don't see what just says, we don't see top. It could have been worse.
I don't see top.
Deserved win.
Deserved win, yeah.
I want to talk about this. The Manchester United way.
Talk to us.
Manchester United's DNA.
Talk to us.
See, don't let certain things or certain circumstances make you forget what institution that you support as a football fan. There is a reason why Manchester United is Manchester United.
Correct.
Manchester United, it's supposed to play attacking football, play fast, aggressive football, play exciting football that gets you off your feet as a football fan, as it did for all football fans around the world today. If you're not off your feet, clapping behind your TV, if you're not in awe of how we are playing, then that's not how Manchester United should be playing. It's transition football, playing with wings, playing on the wings, playing with speed, right? Trusting youth, risking losing to win, taking risks to win football matches. And listen, the Manchester United way hasn't always led to success, but it is the bedrock, it's the fabric of this institution. It is the DNA of this institution, and it has withstood the test of time. It has withstood the World War II, where Old Trafford was bombed and we didn't have a place to play. We had to go and be playing at City's ground and all that. It's withstood the Munich disaster, where we lost one of the greatest football teams that the world could ever have seen. It withstood that. It withstood relegation in the 70s. It withstood years before Ferguson. And then it also carried us years where Alex Ferguson was here. Post Alex Ferguson, we have lost our way. And that is why people keep on talking about the Manchester United way. It doesn't always result in success, but it withstands the test of time. It's the bedrock of our institutions, what we are known for. Before Ferguson, people were still saying that Manchester United was great. Great in the sense that they were a good team to watch, regardless. Yeah. You go to the stadium and then there will be players.
And you'll be entertained.
People would be standing on their feet applauding. It never always resulted in us winning, but it is the foundation, it is the bedrock. When you omit all these things or you try to brush them aside, it is not possible. You don't do that at an institution as old and as storied as Manchester United. What you do is you can work around it, you can add your touches to it, but make sure that those elements still exist. Give the youth the opportunity. Show some courage in games. Do not be afraid to lose. Always try to win. Play in a certain way, and that way is playing with speed, with aggression, playing exciting, attacking football that gets you off your feet as a Manchester United fan. Trusting youth. If you omit that at Manchester United, you are fucked. Because this youth, when Sir Matt Busby lost all those players in the Munich disaster, that was a young team, very, very young team, that contained some of the best young players in the world. But then we still replaced them with even younger players. Relied extensively on our academy all through. You get what I'm saying? So when you are supporting this club, know it, understand it, accept it, that these are some of the things, elements that you're supposed to see always, all throughout. And once you're not seeing that, it means something is not being done right. Something is not going on well. It's not being stuck in the past. It's not just doing things in the old, not being able to move away from the old. No, that's not what it is. It's making sure that the elements of your institution that has made this institution what it is to this very point, that you are the supporter of this club. And I speak for even those who may have been supporting this club for the past 13 years, who may not relate to what I'm saying because they have not seen what I'm describing to have existed in the past. I'm slightly disappointed in people who have seen it but think that, oh, it doesn't matter anymore. You need to rewind, to rethink, and to understand the football club that you are supporting and accept it, that this is what we are. All that you should expect people to do is make those things even better. Work around those things to improve those things. But you cannot omit them and pretend that they mean nothing. You can't do that.
Just to add up to it, there is something we call the soul of an institution, something that is the bedrock, like Kwame has rightly said. And one of them is youth, courage, and success. I mean, you see it if you've ever bought some of the original United jerseys, not the other ones. You see it written inside here: youth, courage, success. That is what Manchester United is noted for. Manchester United is an institution that thrives on giving the youth the chance and giving young people the opportunity to thrive. And it's also, like Kwame has rightly stated, the opportunity for us to play football in a particular way that gets you off your feet. I can bet you that Jason Wilcox, Omar Barada, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe themselves were off their feet watching that football. And I can bet you they've not had this kind of feeling watching United play this way ever since they took over or they came to be a part of the institution. Get me right. I'm not saying they coming in as opponents or anything, but they being a part of the institution, Manchester United.
Perhaps the closest,
and that should give you
we've come to ever experiencing that ever since they took charge must have been our first game of the season against us.
Of course, exactly. But unfortunately, we didn't win that game. So it is what it is: the intensity, the speed, the chance creation, the fight, the aggression. One thing Martinez said that really was quite profound was what Carrick told them. He said that draw from the energy of the fans. From the get-go, even when the players were emerging out of the tunnel, you could feel the energy. You could feel how much noise the Old Trafford fans were making, regardless of all that we've been through throughout the season, regardless of the fact that they've not seen a lot of wins in the last couple of games at Old Trafford. So, but they were able to generate an atmosphere that allowed the players to be able to draw their energies from. I mean, when we were young, we were playing football, they used to sing a song, Obi Bakwa me fa hu nyina to fall. Do you know the energy and adrenaline it gives to you? You feel so pumped up. I'm just trying to create an image of how much the noise and the support does for the team. When the players hear their names being sung, when people hear their names being sung, that is what we call support. That is what we feel at Old Trafford. And that is what made the whole journey or the whole game exciting. Today, I saw 10 over 10s all around. I mean, in terms of the players, bar certain things, probably the Diallo thing that we felt could have been a red card and could have cost us. I mean, even when one player makes mistake, there is one other player there to cover. That hat, wearing your hat in a jersey, and you could see Mbeumo hold the crest, kiss the crest after scoring that goal. I mean, that is what Manchester United is noted for. That is the kind of feeling they've given us over the years during, say, Alex Ferguson's time, when some of us began supporting the club. But Kwame, there is one thing that Carrick did in this game, and I listened to carefully, tactically, that I want to. Roxy, please project this image for me. The positions of the players. In Kwame's tactical analysis of the formation and the setup that we did, one key thing that I noticed was the spaces between the players and how compact we were. There were no gaps in between for City to play in behind,
especially in the central areas.
In that central area, just look at that. Just look at this image. This is from the Premier League. The average position of the United players. We crowded that area. We made sure that they don't have, and even if they wanted to play those intricate balls,
there's no space.
It made it very difficult for them to be able
close to them. They can't
close to each other, and it makes it very difficult.
Their only
and that
option
is the kind
was
of things
to
go wide. And the moment they go wide, you
double.
have players doubling.
Very simple. It's a very simple tactic, yeah.
So to see, so easy to observe, right? And what makes it exciting is the execution. When you're able to execute it very, very well, the players were switched on, and that is where the home support comes in. So it was a good game. I mean, by all standards, tactically, emotionally, mentally, we were able to get to that. But then comes the challenge, Kwame. Then comes the challenge. I'm sure a lot of people will be saying, oh, United against big teams play very well. Under most coaches. We've seen that under LVG. We've seen that under Ole. We've seen that under almost every other coach.
The fact that
right?
we play well with less possession against better teams.
Exactly. It is the challenge for Michael Carrick right now. I'm sure a lot of us would want to observe and see, Michael, what do you have for us when we are playing?
And it's also notable that all his 4 games so far have been against top teams.
were against big teams.
So
yes.
now what happens?
So,
I guess we know what happens against Arsenal, how we're going to play and everything. But what will happen against the next five teams that we play that we're expected to dominate possession and blah blah blah? See, it's a good start for Michael Carrick. But the truth of the matter is that wins are always going to be of the premium, and we shouldn't actually care how they come at this point in time.
Yeah.
It will be nice to watch Manchester United play in a certain way in every single game as a measure of progress. But the thing about his tenure is that it's short and it's results-based, result-oriented. Now we have 16 games, so you have to win at least 10.
Yes.
You know, I have been doing these things for years, where when we have something to play
you do the calculation.
When we have something to play for, unlike what has happened over the past 14 months, where we barely had anything to play for. But I'm proud to that. For about 5 or 6 years, you know, I've been doing this. When it's getting to the end of the season, I project the last 10, 15, perhaps 20 games of the season and go like, we are supposed to win a certain number of games. We are supposed to achieve a certain target. And this season, like I said in our review of the year, going into 2026, the target should be 66 points. And to be able to get 66 points, we had to win 11 out of our 17 games that he had. Right?
Yes.
And now he's won the first one. Very important win, because I felt that between Chelsea and Arsenal, between City and Arsenal, he had to win at least one game. And then the home game, being the first game, was very crucial. So I'm glad he's won it. It feels as if the Arsenal game is almost like a free hit. But the next 16 games, he has to win at least 10. And if he's able to do that, it almost takes us to that 66 points mark, which is almost a guaranteed top 5 spot. We are in the top 5 for now. Unless, of course, Newcastle beats Wolves by a hefty scoreline and then push us back down to 6th. But then we are where we should be in competition with Liverpool, with Chelsea, and perhaps Newcastle for 2 spots, 4th and 5th.
Yeah.
To do that, he has to win football matches. He has to win football matches. And we'll judge his tenure based on whether he's able to achieve the set target for him. The two of us are looking at his tenure completely separately. If people have not noticed, we're not making mention of anything that's happened in the past. We're moving in a totally different direction now. And that's what we want to focus our attention on. But what I would also want to add, perhaps before we conclude, is that you made mention of the fact that the players gave a 10 out of 10 performance today. And the manager also gave a 20 out of 10 performance today, a masterclass actually. Prior to the game, there were a lot of backlash from other former players, notably Roy Keane, who had a go at Michael Carrick. For personal reasons, people must know this. It's for personal reasons, because Roy Keane doesn't let things go. He's not let his feud with Alex Ferguson go over 2 decades now, perhaps 3 decades if I'm not mistaken. They still have this feud. And if you want to understand why, or you've forgotten, you probably have to Google as to why Roy Keane has an issue with Alex Ferguson and has never ever let it go. Calling out Ferguson and all that, I understood what he was trying to do, despite the fact that Bruno Fernandes had a very, very good pushback. But I kind of get it. But I had to go at Michael Carrick. It's because, if people don't know, Michael Carrick's wife went to type some things about Roy Keane on the internet. and Roy Keane is on a personal agenda against Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick possibly just wants to stay out of it. He was asked at the presser before the game, and he was like, hey, there's almost like as if he's saying,
I won't go there. It's okay.
I won't go there. So if people don't understand where this is coming from, trust me, this is where it's coming from. Prior to the game, he was saying Michael Carrick is not fit to lead Manchester United. It was harsh and uncalled for. Now, I'm getting to my point very soon. Also, Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes were also trashing Lisandro Martinez, basically saying that Haaland is going to pick him up,
bully him, pick him up. Yeah,
this is what I want to say. It's a privilege, absolute privilege, to play and coach Manchester United. And every time you wear the badge or stand on the touchline, your duty as the coach or as a player is to perform to your absolute best, give your absolute maximum, do your job well, prove people wrong. I'll say this again, prove people wrong, because I'll use my own personal life as an example. When people doubt me, it motivates me more. I have this desire to go out there and show them that I've got this.
Yep.
And I don't plan to do it once. I don't plan to do it twice. I want to do it all the time until you yourself acknowledge the fact that you were wrong. And then say to me that, you know what, you are that guy. So when you play for Manchester United and you are criticized, sometimes unfairly, I would add that, sometimes unfairly, your duty is not to make excuses for yourself. Your duty is to go out there and prove your doubters wrong, like you did today. Lisandro Martinez, like you did today, Michael Carrick. But just don't do it today. You have to show
You do it consistently.
That's what me and you are always in sync. You know I'm going with this.
Consistently.
You do that consistently because Manchester United has lacked consistency from managers and from players. You go there every single time and play the way that you played today, and not like how you played against Burnley.
Yep.
You go there and you coach to win football games at all costs, and not sit in the press and give excuses for your performances as a coach.
Yep.
You do not do that. When you coach an institution like Manchester United, you coach an institution like Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, the Lakers, Dallas Cowboys, you perform. If you don't perform, you know what's coming. It doesn't even have to be fair. And as football fans, that should be the only expectation of our players and our coach. Let's stop making excuses for people. Go out there in the privileged role that you are as a coach and player for Manchester United, being paid handsomely, more than most players are paid. You are protected, you are given the best treatment. See, they always say it. At Carrington, they are protected from all the noise. The noise is on their smartphones. If you are professional and you want to give your best, part of you trying to avoid things that will take you down is put that phone away or get people to manage you. It is your job, it is your duty. You're not a child anymore. You're handsomely paid to produce and perform for Manchester United. Get onto that damn football pitch and prove Paul Scholes wrong, prove Nicky Batts wrong, prove Roy Keane wrong. And they will fucking eat their words for excuse me for my friend. They will eat their words, definitely.
Go on.
They will definitely. Roy Keane was forced to eat his words right after today. But trust me, he's not done. When I'm telling you he's not done, he will continue. See, let me tell you something about
consistency.
Let me tell you something about Kwame Bafo. At first, he didn't understand this thing. He didn't understand the whole thing with Roy Keane and all this people, blah, blah, blah. But after a while, I think when I started talking to him about this and I showed it to him, I was like, see, we for chill. It's because you are not performing. When you perform,
we are not performing.
When you perform, they will not
silence everyone.
They will not say anything.
Silence
In fact,
everyone.
They will spin around and try and start to hype. But the thing is, we are doing this.
Yeah.
Up and down, up and
because
down.
there is no consistency. They latch on every single thing. And for me, the fact that he has said it or that doesn't mean I agree with him. But the circumstance is what is probably making him say that. So it is on you to be able to and that I like the response Lisandro Martinez gave. Perfect response, as Kwame has rightly said. Right? He says, I can't control that. In all the people who know me, probably those who have sat in my emotional intelligence class will say that. One of the key things I always tell people is that what people say out there is out of your control. There is something called a circle of your control. Lisandro Martinez understood that perfectly. He says, I can't control what Nicky Batts and Paul Scholes are saying. I can't control that.
Haaland in your pocket. That's the only thing you can control.
But what I can control is my performance and what I can do and how I can improve. And this is a life hack. This is not just, it's a life hack. So many people say things about you behind your back, etc., etc. But how much of that can you control? Can I control what Kwame is thinking about me? I can't. Probably he's made up his mind about me on something. I don't know. What based on whatever perception, whatever. I have no idea. So the fact that I've heard it or he has said it means I am like that. And that is when Lisandro Martinez responded. He says, I can't control what they are saying, but I can control my performance. And that is what the players need to do.
He should not go to Emirates and shit himself. Go put in a masterclass.
Yes.
Next game, do the same.
Do it again.
Next game, do the same. That's
do
the
it
standard
again,
that's
again.
expected of you.
Exactly.
Michael Carrick, keep on winning football matches. Otherwise, Joaquin will come and talk trash about you because he has not let it go.
Absolutely.
And I repeat, I'm not saying it is fair, but it is Manchester United.
That's it.
No, the club
and any big institution. I mean, there are levels to things. If someone would say that about, let's say, any of the mid-table clubs, fair enough.
They
are mid-table clubs. That's their characteristic. But this is the club, Manchester United, with a huge standard, right? You can say, oh, standards have dropped and everything. Nobody expects the standards to be on the floor. It's as simple as that. We need to understand and appreciate that. It's as simple as that. If you do not perform, your job will be gone. It's as simple as that. If you're a player and you're not performing, you will be over. Your time at the club will be over. You will not be seen as a success.
This is where football fans we should be at this point in time. See, Alex Ferguson, Danike has come to say this. In fact, a lot of people have come on the pod to say it. We ourselves, at the point in time, we didn't want to accept it, but we've resigned ourselves to the fact that Alex Ferguson, Sam Busby, one-offs. Like, we don't get that all the time.
Of course.
You may be lucky to get this coach who would come and then be successful from the off. And then he will have to stay on for a long period of time. But when the coach is not being successful, when the players, you see, the reason I'm mentioning these two intertwined is, it is intertwined. They are all people who work for us. When they're not being successful, they go, and next person comes, it's fine. Now it's Michael Carrick's era. We are judging Michael Carrick on his performance. If he doesn't perform, he should go. If players are not performing, they will definitely go. See the turnover of players over the last 3 years alone. A huge turnover of players. You know what I'm saying? It's all about arriving at a point where everything is.
You can't lie to yourself. You can't lie to yourself about this. You can't lie to yourself. If the results is not good, what will happen will happen. Because you have expectations. Nobody will accept that. Even rival fans won't accept that. Go and listen to John Terry. Go and listen to all rivals. Listen to all the pundits. And all of them saying, John Terry says, this is Man United of old. He's not a United. I don't know whether he's a United fan.
This
is what he's saying.
Like, so
everybody's saying this is United of old.
We had been conditioned to believe that we can't play this kind of football again because people say it's old and archaic. How is this old and archaic? What you watch today? This is Manchester United. This is the Manchester United we used to watch.
Come on.
It's now about replicating it, consolidating our
That's all. That's all.
Preferably playing this way, and then we carry on from there.
Yes.
Come the summer, if whoever is supposed to come in, we should take into consideration the fact that that person can play attacking football. We've seen him play attacking football before. We see him taking risks. We see him making winning an absolute priority. We see him playing entertaining football. Right? See, it doesn't always have to be this way. Not every Ferguson game was entertaining. But majority of the football games that you saw, he played that way. Sometimes there may have been a need to tweak things here and there. That's what I'm talking about. You can put tweaks here and there. But the identity, the things that we've spoken about, should always
it shouldn't miss. Don't compromise on that. Kwame, you gave me an assignment, but I'm trying to open my Twitter feed and I can't. I don't know if you can find the comments to read for us. So we asked a few of you to send your. Yes. I'm unable to read from there.
One or two people also sent us.
I've sent some videos, so that one would add Kofi Abuaji. They will be at the end of the show. But Kwame, can you read the comments for us?
I just have to go to my Twitter quickly. Just a second.
Yes, go to your Twitter quickly. But remember, this podcast is brought to you by Tech Transitions Hub. If you're in the US or you're in Canada and you want to, expose yourself to some new IT things to help you grow your career, Tech Transitions Hub has got you. Please remember to contact them and also be a part of it. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. And thank you for being a part of the podcast. Please share with us some of the comments from our people and listeners.
This was just immediately after the game, and I was just asking on our Twitter feed, what are your opinions at the end of this football game. In fact, I captioned the post: "New manager bounce, a 2-0 win, clean sheet, thoughts on the game." And the first comment, it's from Ninoy. I think he's in our Telegram group. Yeah, he said, "Good game, what performance." Bole, BM.
BM, yes.
Man, what a game. Best game of the season yet. Kofi Abuaje, he had a lot to say. Kofi Abuaje had 3 posts. First post, it's no surprise.
But I wish you could hide it because he has put all of that in the video. He has sent a video.
Oh, he sent a video. Then I'll skip.
Yes.
Kofi has too much to say all the time. Then Afin also, I think he sent us a video. So I'll go to...
Yes.
Nanaya. Great game. Great win. See how simple football is. No shooting yourself in the foot by playing your central attacker before that's a deep midfielder. Don't bring it on centre backs where you need goals. A clean sheet without 3 back. And apparently Menu can be on the same pitch as Bruno. Donnarumma, and he puts these fire emojis. He posted another message. This is what that first game against Arsenal was meant to be. Same Nanaya was also in our group. Prince Ajay Boateng out of the roof. BM typed again. Hey, people are just multiple typing. Hey, the adrenaline was high. Hat off for Carrick in the last video.
Yeah.
I can't read out BM. Ni Teiko, aside the bounce, great game. In Tim Nyako, he says, hey, I'm not reading that. Skip. Yeah, a free from chaos to Carrick. Fole, he says, call. I'm not reading that either. Call who and sack him again, whatever. Luis Edu Amwa. Luis, I'll talk about Luis briefly. Luis is my mate from senior high school, infant school. Excellent play from the blast of the whistle to the end. Diallo just had to sit up and want it and show intelligence. Dear God, Diallo. Pa Matia also just said, unbelievable. And Nana BC game, he says, Shaw kept Semenyo shut. Man of the match contender. Hey, Semenyo, he rejected us. Perhaps if he had made a certain decision earlier, he would have joined us, because right now, perhaps this is the last point that we'll discuss before we call it a day. Guess what? The general transfer window is still open. There's a transfer window. It's that Manchester United, we are so used to not doing anything in January that we don't even get excited in the January transfer window. But there was talk of a secret midfielder being negotiated for. It's somebody who has played in the Premier League before, but is currently still playing in Europe, and a lot of clues from Ben Jacobs. But then perhaps I think we might sign a midfielder. But aside the midfield, this position that has become so glaring because of what we used to play over the past 14 months. The left wing position, right? When we fantasize and try and put things in a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, we always push Cunha to the left hand side of that three. But it has become evidently clear, and that's one of the benefits that we enjoyed from Carrick's Fletcher's 1 week, that Cunha has a problem playing wide. He can't maintain or hold the width. He's also not disciplined in tracking back. That is not his position. So it's either he's playing behind the striker or playing as a striker, as demonstrated today. So I think what his future may be somebody in competition with Shesko for the central spot, because there was nobody like Bruno Fernandes. There was no number 10 like Bruno Fernandes. Replacing Bruno Fernandes is going to be one of our biggest tasks if he decides to leave in the summer. But it then leaves you with a situation where now Patrick Dorgu is the one who is playing as the left winger, right? It's not like he can't play because naturally he's a winger. It's just that he's used to playing on the opposite side, but now he's doing a job on the left-hand side. Manchester United may need to sign a left winger as well, because we got rid of all our left wingers because of the previous system that we used to play. Rashford gone, Sancho gone, who else? From
Garnacho.
Everybody gone from that side. We may have to buy another a right-footed left winger who has some form of dynamism, can cut in or go hit the bar line. So these two positions are our immediate positions that we need to address.
Kwame, thank you so much. Enjoy the comments from our brothers Nana Finn and Kofi Abuaje, who sent to us. their comments. I'm going to do this. I'm going to throw some challenge to you, so you also can send your videos to us. In the course of the midweek, we'll try and get our guests, probably our girls. We'll talk to our girls and see if they will join us, and also any of our guests to join us. So we'll have a midweek and then a preview to the game against Arsenal, and so we have a great time together. Thank you so much for being a part of the podcast. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. We hope you've enjoyed all the insets, all right, that's we've given to you today. My name is Kwame. Roxon, you know what to do.
You know what to do.
You know what to do. All right. Thank you so much, Boachi and Roxon, our production team, for always being a part of us. And thank you so much, Kwame. It's what is the time now? It is 5:33.
I'm now going to
5:33. 5:33. I'm going for mass at 6:30. So sorry. I have to.
I've been away for 23 hours. Also, oh God.
I'm leaving for mass this morning, and I hope it will be a Thanksgiving mass for me. I should probably go for offer tree today to thank God for my United. Anyway, we'll see you on the next one. Have a great time.